Hello there.
The similarities between the settled systems of Starfield and the galaxy of Star Wars is pretty easy for everyone to see. From the sci-fi setting of space travel and distant civilizations, to the fact that you can even unlock mystical powers that will grant you magical abilities. Sound familiar? Yeah.
Yes.
Starfield was very clearly inspired by the Star Wars universe, and that resemblance makes it very easy to switch your game up to feel more like a Star Wars RPG. So it's no surprise that a lot of modders are making it their #1 goal to turn Starfield into Star Wars. And I'm a massive Star Wars fan, so I'm very excited to bring you a list of mods today that will attempt to turn the Milky Way into a galaxy far, far away. The only thing that I will exclude from this mod list is lightsaber mods. We've checked out a couple in the past, and I'm still waiting for that massive overhaul mod that will add really cool lightsabers, but also change some of the melee animations as well. We won't be able to cover all the Star Wars mods today, as there are literally hundreds of them out there, but I'll do my best to show you guys some of the best ones that I can find. If you're new to the channel or new to modding Bethesda games, make sure to subscribe, and if you'd like to see more Starfield content and you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like, as it will really help out the channel. Right, first things first, if we want to transform our Starfield into Star Wars, we're going to have to start with the names. And that's where we're going to check out the mod Star Wars Name Replacement Overhaul by Deity Vengi. And just a heads up, that's a name you're probably going to hear a lot this video. Anyway, this mod is an ongoing project to rename every faction, planet and many notable NPCs to be more in line with the Star Wars universe. For example, the UC is now the Galactic Empire, Jemison is now Coruscant, and Lyle Brewer is now Greedo, for some reason. This mod is truly leaving no stone unturned, and the mod author has left a spreadsheet with all the changes made by the mod. Every faction has been renamed. For example, House Varun are now known as the Sith Empire, and the Trackers Alliance is now the Bounty Hunters Guild. You can find this mod on the Nexus page and on the Creation Club. This mod will only change the names of these factions, planets or people, but is an essential part to immersing us into a galaxy far, far away. Now that our game is feeling a bit more like Star Wars, I think it's time we started a new game. But I don't want to have to go through the whole tutorial again and have to meet Barra and join Constellation. That's why we have the mod Star Wars Alternate Start, and again, it's by Deity Vengi. If you've modded a Bethesda game in the past, then an Alternate Start mod is probably a pretty familiar concept to you. I've always liked these kinds of mods. They give you the freedom to really roleplay your character exactly how you want them. And what this mod does is skips the tutorial mission at the start of the game and instead gives you full control of how you start your journey. This mod will assume that you have already installed our first mod that we looked at, as all the names, locations and loadouts have been replaced with Star Wars counterparts. You will now be given a choice of where you will start your playthrough and what occupation you have and whether or not you want to have the main story in your game. For starting locations, you can choose from any of the big settlements, or you have the choice to start from a random location somewhere in the galaxy. But be warned, you might not always like where you end up.
I have a bad feeling about this.
When it comes to loadouts, this mod gives you the choice of 6 different Star Wars themed starting roles, but we may be lacking in some equipment for those roles at the moment, but once we've added all the other mods in our list, they should all have the correct amount of gear. Unfortunately, this mod is not available on the Creation Club, but it is available on the Nexus page. Next on our list is actually 2 mods, however they are essentially 2 sides of the same coin. UC Empire and Freestar Rebels by Radiclown are both overhaul mods that seek to replace Starfield's 2 biggest factions with their iconic Star Wars counterparts. UC Empire will of course change the United Colonies faction into the Galactic Empire. This mod will replace all of the UC's different armors and uniforms, populating all of the UC territory with Imperials and Stormtroopers. This overhaul can really change the feel of somewhere like New Atlantis. Seeing Stormtroopers patrolling around the city just straight away makes it feel a whole lot more like Star Wars. Whereas on the other side of the coin, you have the Freestar Rebels, a mod that will transform the Freestar Collective into the Rebel Alliance. This mod will replace most of the Freestar outfits, so you will now see Rebel pilots and soldiers occupying all the Freestar space. These mods are made to come as a pair and work hand in hand in transforming your Starfield into Star Wars. It is recommended to start a new game before using these mods, so it works really well with the Alternate Start mod too. And thankfully, Radiclown has made both of these mods available on the Nexus and on the Creation Club, so you can play them on your PC or your Xbox. Now that we've changed a lot of the names and the look of the NPCs in Starfield, I think it's time to customize some of our surroundings. Star Wars City Editions by CraftyX Gamer add loads of ships from the Star Wars universe into Starfield. As well as ships, it also adds loads of miscellaneous decorations and Star Wars clutter, like these cool speeder bikes and these fancy looking crates. With this mod, you will find Rebel ships like Y-Wings and X-Wings parked in Aquila City's spaceport, and in New Atlantis you will see ships from the Imperial Navy like TIE Fighters and Imperial shuttles, so it works perfectly with the previous two mods that we just looked at. This mod also replaces the Nat train with a taxi speeder and even adds some lore-friendly moisture collectors to Aquila City. Adding all of these big and small Star Wars decorations really helped to change the feel of our game. It would be nice to see some of the ships actually taken off, but for now they just work well as set dressing. And if you want to download this mod for yourself, you can find Star Wars City Editions on the Creation Club and the Nexus page. Moving on to our next mod, we're going to be looking at Star Wars YT-1300 Millenium Falcon by Electionist 007. This mod adds Han Solo's iconic ship from the original trilogy into Starfield. To acquire this ship, you can choose to go to Vectera and go and collect it, or if you wanted to, you could even try building it yourself. But if you don't have the patience for Starfield Ship Builder, then like I said, you'll need to head over to Vectera, which is the moon where you normally complete the tutorial mission. Just behind where you can start your journey in Starfield, you'll find the Falcon just patiently waiting for you. Once you have activated this small button, the Falcon will then become your home ship and you can now finally board it. The interior is pretty cool, however it obviously isn't completely accurate to the movies, and I'm not really sure what's going on in here.
Jedi business, go back to your drinks.
But once you take off on your maiden voyage, you'll notice that it is quite an OP ship, having pretty much near stacked out levels for most of its functions. Luckily, you can just balance the allocation of power across your ship, so you can adjust the levels to however you'd like it to be. This mod also allows you to customize the paint job of the Falcon, so you can either stick with the classic look or create your own new style. You can play this mod on PC and Xbox, and you can find it on both the Creation Club and the Nexus page. In the past, we've taken a look at the mod's seamless grav jump, which removed the loading screen that you would usually get when performing a grav jump. I'd like to revisit it again, however now with a little Star Wars twist. Introducing seamless hyperspace by Ada Baser and Deity Vengi, this mod replaces the grab jump animation with the famous Star Wars Hyperspace one, and at the same time still removes the loading screen between jumps. You will need to have seamless grab jump installed before you add this mod to your load order, and you'll need to make sure that it is loaded after that original mod. With seamless hyperspace, we are finally starting to make our space travel feel a bit more like Star Wars, as without that iconic hyperspace look that we all know and love, it just wouldn't feel the same. And you can download this mod from the Nexus page or the Creation Club, so you can play it on PC or Xbox. For our next spot, we have two mods that will help change the galaxy's population to feel a bit more like Star Wars. Star Wars Aliens and Star Wars Droids, both by Radiclown, are two mods that will replace some of Starfield's NPCs with characters you'd be more likely to find in a galaxy far, far away. Star Wars Aliens adds a variety of alien races to Starfield's various factions and planets. These are fully animated and should still have pretty consistent lip sync when talking to them. This mod even adds the races to the character presets, so if you wanted to, you can now roleplay as a Star Wars alien. Star Wars Droids, on the other hand, adds and replaces all of the robot NPCs with the typical droids that you'd see from the franchise. Explorer robots have now been replaced with protocol droids, mini bots are now astromechs, and police robots have been changed into security droids. Vasco has been left untouched, however you can now craft these droid armors at an industrial workbench, so if you want to change Vasco's look, that is now possible. These mods are awesome together and really help with altering the game to make it feel more like Star Wars, and both these mods are available on PC and Xbox, so you can find them on the Nexus page and the Creation Club. Okay, so we've got the names, our NPCs are starting to feel a bit more Star Warsy, but what about the weapons in the game? Well, that's where the mod Star Wars Blasters and Melee by Crossbow comes in. This mod replaces all vanilla guns with Star Wars counterparts, including over 70 unique weapons that are sure to look very familiar. You and all the NPCs will now have access to a variety of different blasters and Star Wars themed melee weapons, which drastically change the whole feel of the entire game. It now actually feels like a Star Wars shooter. All the blasters come with custom sound effects, meaning they will all sound exactly the way they should. Getting into shootouts is now way cooler, as the sounds are just so iconic. The only thing that this mod is missing is a bit of variation in the blaster beam colour. At the moment, I think they are all only red. In the future, I personally would like to see some new colours added. However, I do love how convenient this mod is, and no longer will you need to download loads of individual weapon replacers. This mod comes as an all-in-one package, and thankfully it is available on the Nexus page and on the Creation Club. For the 9th spot on our list, we're going to be checking out one of the most complete Star Wars armor mods out there. Star Wars Armor Pack by the Sniper 9 will add tons of new Mandalorian and Clone Trooper spacesuits to Starfield. This mod adds 7 different types of armor like Din Djarin's, Jango Fett's, and a huge variety of different Clone Trooper armors. You can craft all these brand new spacesuits at an industrial workbench, and each item will only cost you 1 credit to make. The great thing about this mod is that it gives you the choice to craft each item as clothing or as a spacesuit, meaning you won't have to worry about constantly changing your outfit depending on what planet you're on. Star Wars Armor Pack adds loads of new helmets, spacesuits, and jump packs, and the attention to detail in some of these outfits is actually insane. Another thing this mod does is allow you to create your very own Mandalorian styled spacesuit. You can select between the different Mandalorian pieces and their different color options, allowing you to come up with some very interesting styles. I really like the Shadow Collective armor, and that's why I decided to also download the mod Shadow Collective Crimson Fleet Conversion, also by the Sniper 9, because this mod utilizes these very awesome looking spacesuits and transforms Starfield's Crimson Fleet into Darth Maul's Shadow Collective from the Clone Wars TV show. The amount of variety you get with this mod is amazing, and even just with the different amount of Clone Trooper suit, you could really make some cool looks. They are also all upgradable at a spacesuit workbench and will be able to be improved just like any other piece of armor in the game. I'm a big fan of this mod, and thankfully it is available on the Nexus page and on the Creation Club. And for our final mod today, it only seems right that we cap it off with one of the most iconic villains in cinema history.
Impressive. Most impressive.
This is Star Wars Darth Vader outfit by Bonepunk, and if you couldn't tell, this mod adds Darth Vader's spacesuit and helmet into Starfield. With this mod you can now roleplay the evil Sith Lord himself, or maybe it's just a scrapper who found the armor or something, but you can craft it at an industrial workbench, and it even comes with a capeless version because the physics on the cape aren't exactly great. But what is great however is the attention to detail on the suit, and I love how all the buttons actually light up. You can mismatch it with other pieces of armors and helmets, and it actually works quite well with some. And if you want to download this mod yourself, you can find it on the Nexus page and the Creation Club, so you can use this either on PC or Xbox. And that is all we have time for today. I think we achieved our goal of making Starfield feel a bit more like Star Wars, but there are definitely a lot more mods out there that we can add to this list. So if you'd like to see a part 2 of this video, then make sure to let me know down in the comments. I hope you enjoyed our Star Wars mod list, and maybe you found something that you'd like to check out yourself. And I also hope people weren't too disappointed that I didn't include any lightsaber mods yet. I'm just holding out for a real game-changing one. Remember to try and support any mods that you enjoyed, and if you enjoyed the video, then please leave a like, and if you want to see more Starfield mods, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That will be it from me today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.
You won't regret it.